Hey, mothers and daughters, I am here with our final show. Well, not the final one, but the second to the last final show. My last one is going to be, yeah, this is the final show. So I had at least about 10 more ideas on how things are made. One was going to be homemade ginger ale, and I was going to actually make some on a video. Another one was going to be homemade soap, and I was going to make some of that on the video because I have some that I need to make anyway. And then another one was, let me look through the list. I had so many of them here. Another one was going to be how apps are made, like applications. I was going to talk about how lip gloss is made. And I was going to talk about how they make sugar from sugar cane. And then I was going to talk about homemade mushrooms. And you can decide what kind I'm talking about. It's up to you. And I was going, yeah, those were the things that I was going. Oh, I was going to talk about organic toothpaste, but we only have so many days in a month. However, today, talking about synthetic diamonds. I love a beautiful diamond. I like gold wrapped around my diamond. Silver is beautiful, but I like gold. And I've been curious about a few things. And about a few years ago, I was reading something about the different planets that had diamonds on them. We're going to talk about all that. So I'm going to go ahead and get the show started so I can get into it all.
Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn
And Aungelique.
from the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcase.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell everyone on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today.
Join our book club and our mastermind group. And if you are interested in advertising your woman-owned business, contact us at contactmdishows@gmail.com. Hey, come on and join our movement.
I was so excited to do this show because I love diamonds. Now I'm going to say something that you're probably going to laugh at, but I'm all right with that. I'm built for this. I like real diamonds. I like fake diamonds. It does not matter. And when I say fake, I don't mean the ones that are obvious. I mean, if it's like a good quality CV, cubic CZ, which is cubic zirconia, it doesn't matter. I love real and fake diamonds. Of course, I love the real ones more. But if you can just find a beautiful accessory, because that's all I think of it is as an accessory, then I think you still win. Everything you're going to see on the screen today is something that I like. A couple of those I own. I'm not going to say which ones. So I'm talking about natural diamonds, but mostly synthetic diamonds. I want to give you a little talk about the natural part so we can get into the synthetic, because that's what fascinates me, is how real some of these diamonds look. And you can walk into a jewelry store and 90% of it will be synthetic and you don't even know it. I'm going to tell you why you don't know it too. So natural diamonds are formed within the earth and are sometimes brought about through volcanic eruptions. That brought a lot of information to my head because I was thinking every time there's a volcanic eruption, it could be just the fact that people are under there mining diamonds or something, which makes then the volcanoes erupt. We don't know. We know that happens in the water. When you see like tsunamis and things, it's because they're under there and they're mining oil and all of that. Just made me go, Now, natural diamond is typically going to cost you between $550 to $2,500 per carat, depending on the quality of the diamond. And I think when they say quality, they mean what country it's from, how difficult it was to make it, the uniqueness of it, what makes it special from other, things. Like, for example, when Ben Affleck got Jennifer Lopez that pink diamond, and then somebody else got their person a black diamond. And yes, black diamonds do exist. They come from a lot of countries. So, very interesting. So I also asked myself, okay, well, who is the diamond company that dominates in this particular area? Because there's always somebody who dominates something. So the biggest diamond mining companies of the world are the De Beers. And if you get a chance, go to YouTube, type in De Beers, that's capital D and then E, capital B, EERS, and just check out the history of how they've mined their diamonds, and you decide from there. I was a little turned off about it, but it don't take much to turn me off, so I just kind of go gingerly. So then I asked, who is the largest diamond retailer? And the message I got was Signet, SIGNET Jewelers. And they are one of the largest retailers of diamonds. Okay, Signet, SIGNET, and they're positioned as, a company that loves and inspires love all over the world. So I guess that's their little tagline. So years ago, I was told that there were planets that had diamonds on them. So it made me curious because NASA is always doing things out of space, and I figure they know certain things, so here's how I am with NASA. Either they know certain things and not telling us, or they know nothing and they're telling us lies. There's no in between for me. That's me. So what I found out is that there's a rain that happens on Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn, where it rains diamonds. So on Uranus in the solar system, there is thought. You notice they won't admit it, but they say there's thought to exist some 8,000 kilometers below the surface, ice giants. Now they're calling diamonds ice giants. When it says ice giants, it just makes me think there are just tons of diamonds there, and a lot of people are going there, getting them, and this is how they're becoming millionaires for generations to generation. But then also I went a little further, and I'm like, well, how long does it take to get there? So there's thought to be diamonds on Neptune. Now, if you wanted to go there, it's going to take 12 years to reach it. They're not going to just let any old John TQ go. Whoever they are, you can do whatever you want to do with that. So listen, it takes 12 years to get to Neptune, and it has diamonds on it, and it's also called ice giants. It says this cutaway of Neptune shows a different layer of the planet if you go and you look at it, and it says including diamonds that may form there. Listen, if there's diamonds on other planets, people who can get there, they know. So I also asked if there were diamonds on Venus, and it says that it only takes 109 days, which is 3.5 months to get there. If you wanted to get diamonds from there, there's a large diamond on, not diamonds, but there is a large diamond on Venus. This diamond helped to prove Murphy's Law. Now, Murphy's Law is anything that could happen, just possibly might. And so that's very interesting that there are diamonds there. So I also asked about Saturn, because Saturn was actually the first place that I heard that there were diamonds on. I didn't really even know about these other ones until I started a little bit more research. But there are diamonds that are said to be on Saturn. And if you wanted to go to Saturn, it would take you 3 years and 2 months to get there. And there's about 10 million tons of diamonds that rain down on Saturn each year. The new molecule is relatively heavy, and when attracted by the planet's gravity, begins to draw downward. Now, if you think that there is not anybody on Earth that knows how to get to Saturn in 3 years and 2 months to get the 10 millions of diamonds that rain down, again, Uranus, if you wanted to go there, it would take 12 years to reach. So if it was me, I'm going to vote for Saturn, because it's only going to take 3 years, even though the other one only takes 109 days. I just want to go where it rains down 10 millions of diamonds, and you can just scoop up a little bit, come back, sell it to some of these companies. And then once these companies have these diamonds, then you can, be literally as rich as you want to be. I mean, wouldn't that be fair? I tell you, there is a reason that regular everyday humans are not allowed to go to places like Antarctica and to see what's going on other planets and all of that. And I think it's because of the capitalism of it all. Now, a synthetic diamond, you heard earlier, I said a natural cut. We're going to get into the synthetic part. A natural diamond that's naturally formed by the earth costs between $550 to $2,500 per carat. Well, a synthetic one could only cost you about $65 per carat. Okay. So as you can see, at the lowest point, $550 1 carat, as comparison to $65 per carat, you could make still some money. You can like take any business and market your corner of it and become as wealthy as you want to be. Just stay in your lane, stay with your niche, go with what you know. I wonder if it's still the case that if those other planets have all that resources on there, if that's also why we have this war in the solar system with who wants what and who's going to get what, and how we have all the resources that we have. And I am okay with knowing that at some point we will never know the answers to any of what I'm talking about right now. But I'm just talking about diamonds. Now, if you ever just wanted to, as just a regular old human like me, go and you wanted to dig up some diamonds for free, and I think you have to pay a tax on it, because I have a friend who went to a place in Texas where they have a diamond place where you can dig up diamonds, and they had to pay a tax on it, but she came back and really did well with that diamond. But there in Arkansas, there's an Arkansas Crater, which is a Diamond State Park, and you can go there, and it's the only diamond producing site in the world. And for the public that can go and they can search for diamonds. Again, I think if you find a diamond, you can pay taxes on it or something and then do whatever you want to do with it. But again, it's called Crater of Diamonds State Park. It's a 911 acre, 369, it's a 911 acre park in Arkansas. And it's a park in Pike County, Arkansas, in the United States of America. The park features 37.5 acres, which is 15.2 ha. And it's a plowed field. And what you do is they give you a tool and you go out and you dig. And I think you have a certain amount of time, like maybe a few hours or whatever. I think when my friend went, they had like 3 or 4 hours, and she did find something. The guy she went with, he didn't. So let's talk a little bit about the synthetic process, which was very interesting. I'm just going to kind of talk about the tools that they say you need to make them, just in case you're curious. And then at the bottom, in the description bar, I'm going to leave a link where you can go and pretty much look it up for yourself and decide if it's something that you might want to be interested in getting into. But it does take about a week to create a synthetic carat diamond, which they say is about the amount of time that it takes for you to grow a fingernail. So if it's going to take about a week, the problem is you're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to even get the equipment once I tell you everything you need. So let's go. You will need possibly a GE brand high pressure circumference heating apparatus. Okay. So if that's something that you can afford, go for it. When I looked it up, the price was ridiculous and they don't even use that really anymore. So I'm just trying to go on the cheap side. These diamonds, by the way, are called diamonds, even though they are synthetic diamonds. They're still called diamonds, and they're made in a science lab. And they use chemical vapor depositioning and CVD processing to do it. They process a particular chemical, which involves also water, which turns into vapors also. So they started from ice, water, vapor. So remember in school when we learned about condensation, evaporation, all of that stuff? They cook the water down into 0 degrees. The chemicals and they don't tell you what chemicals, but the chemicals that they use, it changes the pressure and the temperature in the water. And then they use 1500 degree temperature in there. That's very, very, very hot. So the key ingredients is hydrogen, methane gas, and carbon atom. 4 hydrogen atoms, microwaves, like a microwave, but it's micro, and then waves to break the gases up into plasma. They use sulfuric acid. All of these forms of glowing, all of this forms into a glowing plasma. They use some type of powder to change the quality. And then they use, if they want to use a color, if they want to color the diamonds, they can use like ultraviolet fluorescent coloring. Okay. All of this grows into different layers, by the way. And then once it grows into a particular layer, they can use other machines to form the size of how they want the diamond to look from the inside all the way out. So a synthetic, like I said, a synthetic diamond grows as fast as a fingernail will grow, which is in about a week. So when you make synthetic diamonds, there's two methods that they use in a lab, which I just mentioned, which is the CVD, which is chemical vapor depositioning, and then HPH, which is high pressure, high temperature. Then from there, they're not going to give you the list of all the chemicals, but I just gave you kind of like a generic listing of the chemicals. So in the labs, they grow the diamonds. They almost put it in bake it. It's almost like a baking process in a pressure cooker. And then they use these chemicals to form it to make it look like glass, almost like how they do glass. Synthetic diamonds also cannot be detected if produced a proper kind of way. Okay. There are really, really good ones. So the lab grown diamonds are just as real as the diamonds you can get from the earth. When it comes to shape, size, color, clarity, they had to, at the De Beers Corporation, they had to actually create a machine that could detect it because it was undetectable. So imagine this, you're a diamond dealer. You have all these millions of dollars worth of diamonds. You sell them to a company and they're going to make trillions off of it. If the diamonds are not real, you made all those millions of dollars and they got the fake diamonds, you got away. See, I never paid attention to any of those movies that was talking about that stuff like James Bond and all that. But now my light bulb came on and was like, bing, bing, bing. It was kind of funny when the light bulb came on because I didn't ask it to. It just naturally came on. So then I was asking questions like, well, how long does it take to grow a synthetic diamond? So unlike natural diamonds, which are formed beneath the Earth's surface under extremely high pressure. Remember, we talked about volcanoes because it says under heat and millions of years, and then boom, it pops into the surface. It roughly takes about 6 to 10 weeks to be created. Now, that's from the shake and bake process. That's from the shaping process. That's from the clarity process. That's from everything that they need to do to get it to the manufacturer. But it only takes a week in those machines to actually create what it is that you're trying to create. So then I was very, very nosy and I said, well, will it be able to, pass a diamond tester? And it says that it will. Those little diamond testers, because I used to have one, and if it came on green, it was real. If it was red, it wasn't. Because when I would go and buy things, I would take that with me because people will try to get over on me. Because listen, when I was broke, I used to go to the flea market and they used to try to lie and tell you the gold and the silver and all that stuff was real. Baby, you would have to test it, because if not, you get home in 3 weeks, you was going to be sad after you done went in the pool and took a shower and you didn't take that stuff off and your legs started turning green from the bracelet or whatever. So, I used to have one of those little testers, but it does say that it will pass a test and it'll have the same carbon compositioning as a natural diamond. That is freaking scary. So after doing this little research, I decided, I used to think, when I get married again, that I want to have this big diamond or whatever, but I think I'm just going to go with a really thick, nice gold band. And I don't want to, though. I ain't gonna even lie. I really don't want to have to do that. It also says that even jewelers and professionals and gemologists can't even tell the difference between a real diamond or not. So can you imagine, like they have the gem show every year. I've been to the diamond and gem show. Can you imagine going to, because you can sell your diamonds and things there. Because I have a couple of pieces. One is a watch that my godmother gave me that she got from her husband when he was in the World War. And she gave it to me. And I've never even had a thought of getting rid of it. I mean, not even in the toughest times have I ever thought, well, you know what, I might as well go ahead and sell this vintage and absolutely beautiful watch. I mean, it's so delicate and it's just gorgeous. The reason that the synthetic diamonds are cheap basically is because they are made in a lab and they weren't mined the way we typically think of um, a diamond to be mined. And now they say if you get a diamond from someone, you want to ask them, is it basically cruelty free? Like, did you get it out of a, third world country where they had to have blood, sweat, and tears, or did you just go and make it in a lab? I was asking, I wonder about the clarity, and it says that lab-made diamonds typically have a good clarity, like a high-quality natural diamond, and they won't get cloudy. So that was one thing that I actually was concerned about, just out of curiosity. And then I was thinking about, the synthetic diamonds, they are absolutely man-made in a lab. So if you are a scientist and you know how to work all these high-pressure, high-temperature machines, and you have a little bit of engineering smartness about you, you can make one of these. And imagine how much money you could earn, especially if you did trade shows, travel shows, expos, road shows. People don't know the difference, so you could do really, really well. Now, I was also wondering, when it's a lab diamond, should we call it a diamond? And it says that lab diamonds are categorized as either high pressure or high temperature diamonds. And yeah, you should consider them as diamonds, just like everything else. Like, don't try to give it a lesser, title just because it's not done the traditional way of which you think it should be made. And you're not going to be able to hold it up to any kind of UV screen and really look at it unless you know the difference between UV and fluorescent and UV lighting and all that, which I do not. So it says that the UV light, while the lab grown diamond looks real. So if you can see, so for example, back in the day when you would see a QV, which is QZ, cubic zirconia diamond, if you lifted it up to the light, it would have all these beautiful colors, red, blue, green. Everybody would know that's fake. With a regular diamond, when you lift it up to the light or whatever, it just stays clear, white, shiny, see-through. That's pretty much how you can tell the difference. But most people, again, they don't know the difference. And sometimes I used to think back in the day that they made them out of actual glass. So I wasn't even educated on, the fake diamonds I'm talking about. I wasn't even educated on how they really, really made them. So I didn't even know. So quite naturally, I was curious, well, what country, is the producer of the most synthetic diamonds? And I got the answer that I actually was looking for, and not just the answer that I was looking for, but you know how you already just kind of know something. I already knew China was going to be on that list. And so it says that China has 90% of the world's LGDs, which is synthetic produced diamonds. They consume the market with it, and they take up to 3% of the total diamond market. But 90% of the world's diamonds that are synthetic come from China. And let me tell you how let me finish my story and then let me tell you how I know this is true. Let me just go and tell you now, because I'll forget. About once or twice a week, I'll get a message on Instagram from the marketplace, because they have a marketplace there as well. And on the marketplace, it'll have like where you can buy diamonds. And that's, again, I'm calling them diamonds, but they're synthetic. And they will have the most beautiful band. I like a big thick band that covers the whole backside of the finger. And then they will have a diamond on top, and it will be literally like $37, where it should have been 370,000 times 4, because of the size, the clarity, I'm telling you, I go through and I look, and I said to myself one time, I said, you know what, I'm going to buy one of these just to have in my collection, because they're so gorgeous. What stopped me is because it was on social media, and I don't make purchases from social media, just simply because I don't trust any of it over there. So again, probably going to come from overseas or something. But if you wanted to open up a little jewelry shop, and I think what happens at a lot of these jewelry shops, they have a certain amount that are real and a certain amount that's not. And then when they ask you that question, so what's your budget? And you say, oh, my budget is $10,000. They'll go like, well, let's go in the middle, where they put half real, half fake diamonds in there, and you don't know the difference. Unfortunately, that's how I feel about it. So I don't even know how diamond places are earning money right now, because it's crazy. And then I even know people who have a private diamond dealer, and I'm just looking at them like, Kind of reminds me of a lot of the rappers or whatever that go and they get the fake Rolexes and they think they're real, or they get the chains that they think are real. And it's so funny because those chains are so huge and so hollow. So it's like, yeah, you bought a $50 million chain, which probably cost them 20,000 to make. And the only reason why it cost 20,000 is because they had to get those fake diamonds from somewhere. They had to get that real gold from somewhere. Because like I say, they mix the fake and the real together to make you think it's real, which is absolutely hilarious to me. Now, I was wondering about the sparkleability of the diamond. And it says, although some lab-grown diamonds can fade, this happens only when the quality of the diamond is cheap, and in some cases, they do lose their shine. So after a while, if you're wearing a diamond and you're, in the pool, a fake diamond, you're in the pool and you're eating and you're cooking with it and you're doing all kinds of things, doing your hair and getting all that on, then it's probably going to get a little dull, is all it's saying. And then sometimes, it says that the diamonds will then turn yellow. And I think that the reason that the fake ones would turn a color is if you're dipping your hand in things. So let's say you make soap like me. And let's say you take a fake diamond and you dip it in turmeric or something like that. It's probably going to stain it because turmeric stains your everything. Like I made some turmeric, honey, and what was it? Turmeric, honey, and lemon, a face mask. I'm telling you, I had to clean my face like 4 times before the orange, would come off of my face, but it's like it got into the pigment. And I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. Now, I was also wondering about, what stone closest resembles a diamond. And what it told me when I was asking different questions is moissanite. So it's moissanite. So moissanite is a white sapphire, and it's mostly comparable to a diamond. While there are visible differences, of course, because it's a gem, it's the closest you're going to get to something that looks like a diamond. It is considered a gem or a stone, but it is very, very, very high quality on a scale of certain relative other gems, but moissanite. And I thought to myself, who is the person, and I know it was De Beers back in the day because of the way they used to commercialize, but who is the person who made most women feel like I have to have a diamond, I have to have a pearl, I have to have gold, I have to have silver to represent whatever is on their finger? When it comes to, of course, like a wedding ring or engagement ring, it just means a union of two, which is a circle. And so the circle includes, a closure, meaning this is closed, a circle. Who said, but it's not a great circle if it doesn't have a diamond or a pearl or a sapphire or a black diamond or whatever? So it's all about changing our thought process on what we think we have to, should, could, would have. It's going to take a lot of work for me because I like what I like, and it's not about what anybody else told me. It's just I like what I like, and I like the way certain things look on my hand, So the most realistic diamond alternative is going to be your CZ, which is cubic zirconia, which is the most popular diamond lookalike. Okay. Very fairly priced. You can get it on good gold, good real silver. And the only thing I find about CZ is that it does reflect certain lights. So when people put a light to it or whatever, you move your hand a certain kind of way, if it reflects any kind of ultraviolet ray that it picks up from anywhere, red, blue, green, yellow, whatever, then it's like, ew, you have a fake ring on. Again, who is the person who made people feel bad about that? I have no idea. So jewelers are increasingly offering both diamond types and synthetic. I even read that De Beers has created $1 billion industry where they created their own manufacturing company right now, where they are going to be also joining the game. And yes, I'm calling it a game of producing lab-made diamonds. So isn't it funny, that whole saying of if you can't beat them, join them? Perfect example. And in the description bar, I did leave some links for you. So make sure that you go there and look at some of those links. And I have enjoyed giving you this information today. It has taught me a lot. It has asked me, just personally asked myself to change my thought process about thinking I have to have a diamond. But make sure that you're subscribed to the page. Make sure you like it and share it with every woman on the planet that you know. And thank you so much for learning.
Mother-daughter show. We'd love for you to support us by joining us over on Instagram at mother.it_. Join our book clubs and our mastermind groups. And if you are interested in advertising your woman-owned business, contact us at contactmdishows@gmail.com. Hey, come on and join our movement.